So to create the brownie cake, the first thing that we'll do is we'll have a look at the colours within the image and create our colour swatches. So right at the top we've got the green of the strawberry, the leaves that are on the strawberry. So you take off your colour, rub and roll that into the palette, and then take off your colour and try and create 3 separate tones. So you do your dark, medium and light. There's 2 shades of green within there, so take your darkest green and again create your 3 colour swatches, and then moving down you can see the red, pinky red of the strawberry, and again 3 colour swatches. And do this for each of the different sections of the cake, always remembering to roll the ink onto the brush and then add in a touch of water if you want to make the paint lighter. Moving down to the brownie cake, rolling onto the brush, taking the chocolate brown, touch of water, lightening those tones, and then just have a little go with the lighter brown just to see if that one can be used, and that one you can see would be quite useful for the caramel. And then at this stage I always just have a little go at mixing 2 colours together, just for any areas where you might find that one of the tones doesn't quite work and that you want to just experiment creating your own colour swatches and colour tones that might help to create the defined areas, the areas that will add in the detail. So I've just tried mixing the different browns together to try and create more of the depth that you can see within the actual brownie cake. Second part of creating the cake is to start to add in the colours, and I always work with this section here. These are my lightest tones, and I'll apply those to each of the different areas of the cake. So again, if at any point you need to work with those tones, you would take the paint off the palette, create a paper palette, and this can help you create those lighter colours that you need, those lighter tones, and just fill in each section with the tip of your brush, just moving that watered down paint around the area that you're wanting to apply that colour to. So I've got the green of the leaves, pinky red of the strawberry, again just taking that colour off the ink palette and onto your paper palette, just filling up that section with the lightest tone that you can see and that you can achieve with that particular colour of water paint, and just filling that section up. All detail will be added later. This is just your base coat, the base layer for you to be able to work on top of, and for you to be able to apply all of the colour and the detail that you'll need to make your painting look realistic. So at this point now I'm looking for where the caramel is on the image, and just with this lighter brown, it's more like a kind of like an orange tone. I'm just going to add in where I can see the caramel is pouring down the cake, and where it's kind of cascading all the way down and over the cream, and looking at where I can actually see that on the image. Any areas at this point that you think should remain white, you can paint around them, or you can just paint over them with this watercolour, because at the end of this set of videos what you'll find is that there'll be additional videos which will talk about applying pencil crayon, maybe adding in a brighter ink that can change the colour tones, and also how you can use white acrylic paint to add in those additional details of light right at the very end when the whole of this painting has been completed. So don't worry at this point if you go right over the top and cover over areas that you know should be white. We can cover that again later in this set of videos, and we can refer back to that and add that detail in. Quick reminder, always take your paint off the palette and onto a paper palette. This will help as you're trying to use the lightest tone of the colour that you're working with, the colour that you're painting with at that point, and help you control those colour tones making sure that they're not too vibrant, not too bright. It can just help you as you're creating that lightest tone. So paper palettes here on the right hand side of my paper. I don't present those, I don't need those after I've painted, but these ones on the left hand side, my colour swatches, these can be presented alongside my work. These are my knowledge of the colours that are within the image. These are what can be presented alongside my work in my sketchbooks, on my study sheets, however I'm presenting my paintings and my drawings. Always keep a log, the colours that you've used, so that you're showing the knowledge that you have of the reference image that you're working from. You see at this stage now, I've got all of the lightest tones mapped out, and they just need to dry in order to move on to the next stage. The next step is to start to add in some of the details that you can see within the cake. So I'm taking off once again the ink from the palette and onto my paper palette, so I've got control of the paint that I'm using. And I'm just going to start to mark off where I can see my darkest tones. So I'm looking at the slice of cake here, and I'm marking off any areas that I can see are darker. So I use a light, dark, medium process, and that means that I can then use the medium at the end to blend all my colours together and bring those tones into a more realistic format, and help as I'm creating a three-dimensional form that's got those realistic qualities. So I'll mark off all of the dark tones on top of the light, and this will kind of create a base, and then I'll add all of my details in at the next step. So I'm just marking these off. You can see that it's much darker on this side, so I'll take a little bit more of the paint off onto my paper palette, rolling that paint onto my brush, making sure that the paint is completely inside that brush and I've got more of that I can access and use, and then just painting in the details that I can see just to conform that next stage. Take a bit of the water off and excess paint, and just with a damp brush just start to blend those edges in, smoothing those tones, kind of rubbing them onto that original tone that we added, just to create that really, really soft blended effect. You can see that I'll work around all of these sections to blend that in. At the top here, a little bit more ink if it's not blending so well, taking off some of the excess water if it's too much. Blending those through. Next step is to then start to add in some of the detail that you can see within the caramel. And if you remember from the colour chart that we did at the very beginning, you might want to then start bringing in some of these other colours where you're creating your own colour swatches and colour tones, so you can actually start to create the exact colours that you see within the caramel that's coming down from the top of the cake all the way down. And I'm going to start down at the bottom area here because this side is a little bit wet, and I'm just going to start to add in my next layer. Again, I'm marking off some of the darker tones that I can see. I can start to work with building up those layers of colour, just looking at where the darker tones are rather than these lighter, whiter tones, which I said I'll be able to come back to at a later stage if I need to. Just marking off where these colours are. At this point now, just continue to bring all of those tones into the other sections of the areas of the caramel that are dry. So start to bring in the darker tones. You can leave some spaces where the lighter tones will be added, where you can bring in some white acrylic at a later stage, or you can paint right over the top, like in this section here, just right over, fill in with the next build up of colour and not worry too much about the whiter tones, and then add those in later.